And we are back with another episode of Straight Out the Lou. As always, I'm Dylan, joined by Luke and Chris. Today we have a little bit of NBA recap as the Celtics have dropped 8 of their last 11 games.
They're pretty bad.
While the Warriors have won 2 in a row on back-to-back nights. We have some drama in the NFL as Russell Wilson is exploring a trade out of Seattle at the moment, while the Pats are also without a viable starting quarterback. And then we have a little bit of Bruins action to recap as they play the Islanders tonight. And then also Michigan basketball. Heard from Chris here that they are going to beat Iowa tonight. We'll see what happens there. And then a little bit of our Final Four, a look forward to the Final Four here at the end of the episode. So, Chris, obviously last night a tough loss to the Hawks. What did we see out of the Celtics team, and what is the next step?
I'd like to start off by saying the Boston Celtics need to relocate from the city of Boston. They're a disgrace.
Preach.
The city should go to 3 teams because they're a disgrace and they don't deserve to play.
I agree. Go Pats.
I don't even know if they should relocate. They should just remove the team from the league. They're a joke. The bottom line is if you play hard every night in the NBA, you're going to win games. Celtics don't play hard every night. They play hard, once every 5 games?
No, they don't ever.
Maybe. I mean, that Raptors game, the Nuggets game, you know.
You know, they tried.
They did.
Bailed out by Ojale.
Yeah, bailed out by Semi Ojale, you know. So I've been listening to Danny Ainge over the last couple of weeks talk on the radio show, and just want to talk about some of the things he said. I know we live in Boston, and the goal is to win a title every year, but I don't look at it that way. Are you joking? This guy is a clown. That's a fireable quote. Are you kidding me? You're supposed to win a championship every year. This guy needs to be fired. He needs to be run out of town via riots. I mean, it's a complete disgrace.
You just can't say that on the air.
Yeah,
you just can't say that.
People will think that, but the mentality has to be win every year.
It's obviously clear that they're not a championship contending team. You just cannot say that.
No, you can't say that. It's a complete joke, and he's a joke. I can't even. This is what happens when you hoard draft picks. Oh my God, the Memphis pick last year. How many times did I have to hear about the Memphis pick last offseason?
You know what I saw too today? I was looking at the Kia Rookie of the Year ladder, projected what they think who's going to win. With LaMelo Ball, obviously the top guys. Sadiq Bey and Desmond Bane.
Well, yes.
2 of the top prospects on the Celtics board are in the top 7 for the Rookie of the Year ladder right now.
Where's
thoughts
Neesmith?
on that?
I don't even care about. I don't care about their draft. That's not my point. My point is that they were going to hold on to that Memphis pick because it was going to be such a good pick because Memphis was going to suck last year. Nope, Memphis was like a playoff team. The pick was number 14. It was useless. Why did they trade that before last offseason? He's a joke. This is what happens when you hoard draft picks. But more, I know I'm hearing a little bit from people, including certain people on this podcast, that it's just on Brad Stevens.
Not me.
I know.
Not me.
And he has said this is not a coaching problem because he said Brad is more prepared than anybody else in the league. And I believe that. He says it's a Danny Ainge problem and a player commitment problem, which I believe. Stevens?
Danny Ainge is saying that?
Mm-hmm.
He's calling himself out?
Yes.
Okay.
And he's right. He said, Stevens, he might not be motivating his guys. Like, I can get behind that. Maybe he's not motivating his guys, getting the best out of his guys, whatever. But to me, that's an NBA problem more than a Brad Stevens problem. Because this guy has proven he's one of the best coaches in the league. X's and O's wise, he is one of the better coaches in the league.
Calling up offensive plays, he's very good at, yeah.
And his defenses have always been good. Not this year, though, because nobody wants to try on defense. Because these players think they've arrived. And so I don't think anything bad of Stevens. I think he's a good coach, and they should keep him. Speaking of players arriving, that's where I go to my next point. Jason Tatum at his press conference. There were some reports of throwing things in the locker room again. So I hope they're throwing things in the locker room.
And Steven showed the most emotion we've ever heard.
He whispered a little bit. He does say he loses it at practice sometimes. I heard that today when he was on doing an interview. Anyways, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown think they've arrived. They think they are the greatest players of all time. What have they done? Nothing. They've done nothing. They need to move the ball. They're not top 5 players. They think they've arrived. These guys, they're good players. That's it. That's it. And you can see right now they're 15 and 17 because they want to play hero ball for half the game. Move the basketball. And Luke will attest to this. Mike Gorman, the Celtics broadcaster, chief green teamer. When you piss him off, you have problems. This is the same guy who didn't want to trade.
I can't believe they lost Solinger in 2017.
This is the same guy who didn't want to trade Tyler Zeller, Jared Sullinger, and Jay Crowder from the team. And he went on the air and said, everybody should be available. And he said this team is sad to watch. And he worked with the guy, Tommy Heinsohn.
Oh, thank God he passed
rest
away.
In peace,
Yeah,
rest in peace, Tommy Heinsohn. But this is a guy who compared Avery Bradley to Michael Jordan and Kelly Olynyk to Bill Russell. So, I mean, all these years, chief green teamer. One more stat before I finish here. The Celtics, when they have 25 plus assists, they're 8-1. This is on Tatum and Brown, by the way, because Kemba blows. I'm done with him. He can't do anything. This is on Tatum and Brown, be better passers. 20 to 24 assists, 5-9. 19 or less, they're 1-8. So these guys need to pass the ball. I don't care if the guys around them suck. They're going to make some open shots. We saw it in the Toronto game. Somebody will have a good game. Ojeley will have a good game, make some shots. You have to move the ball. This is and as Ainge said, it's a player commitment problem and it's a roster problem. This is unacceptable. They have the same record as the New York Knicks. Get it together.
When was the last time the Celtics were playing this poorly?
Like the first year of
2013.
Stevens, after they traded all the, Garnett, Pierce.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And Marcus Smart, I would like to say, made a nice contribution to the game yesterday.
Yeah, good thing he picked up a tech. Good for him.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you get Smart back. Are you trending up at that point?
Oh,
or-
absolutely. The offense gets booming.
Oh, yeah. So this is
Hey, I will say about Smart, though, even though I'm a very much a Marcus Smart hater, he does move the ball very well. When he runs the point, he does move the ball very well at times. When he's in transition, he's not a good player. But when he actually brings the ball up the court after a made basket, he will get Tatum and Brown the ball in good spots.
I think they miss him, but does that prevent them from losing by 25 points to the Atlanta Hawks? No. I mean, he's a role player. He's a good role player. They should not be this bad without him. It's a complete joke. They're a disgrace.
In other news, the Warriors are 2-0 in the last 2 days, beating the New York Knicks, who now have the same record as the Boston Celtics, and also beating the 4 seed in the East, in the Indiana Pacers, who are a game above 500 in that stacked conference.
Now they're
as
15
the
and
4
15
seed.
now.
Oh, now they're 500.
Which means now, for people that bet out there, obviously we do not bet, do not bet the Warriors in this next game. They do not win 3 games in a row, ever.
They do not win 3 in a row or lose 3 in a row, ever.
So yeah, and we do not bet, but
fade the Warriors
the
against the Hornets coming up.
yes.
But the Warriors, last night, they shot an abysmal, let's see, I think it was 19.2% from three-point range. A team that relies heavily on three-pointers. They shot 26 threes last night, only made 5 of them. Steph Curry, 1 for 11 from 3. See, normally, I'd say a week, 2 weeks ago, this is an automatic loss for the Warriors. They get blown out. It's like, okay, this happens with this roster, on to the next one. But this week, you get Looney back, you get Wiseman back.
We fouled out in the third quarter.
Wiseman did foul out after 18 minutes of play, I believe. But you get the 2 big men back, you get a lot of second opportunities on the offensive end, a lot of offensive rebounds, something we have not seen with this team at all lately. Spreads the floor a little bit more for the guys around the arc, not as much perimeter defense. You got to be able to change it up there with those guys, and they've been able to do that very well the last couple games. And then you have Draymond coming in last night, doing what needs to be done, scoring double digits, right? You got Draymond with 12 points, 11 assists, 9 boards. He can do that night in and night out. It just comes down to him being consistent with the points, especially with other big men out there, like true big men out there around him and Steph. I mean, he's going to be making plays all day. You just got to get him the ball.
Yeah, I think the Warriors are a good team. Unfortunately, I think this is a really tough conference this year. I think with Clay obviously being out, it's going to hurt them. But
Yeah. I mean, last night, let's see.
Good to see them playing well, though.
It is fun to watch that team play well. Last night, you have 6 guys with double digits scoring. I mean, that's going to ball movement.
Oh, I was just about to say something actually about that. Yeah, the Warriors are the perfect example of a team that goes out and plays hard every night and wins games. I know this is a foreign concept to like Tatum and Brown on some time. By the way, Jason Tatum should not be an all-star. That's a disgrace. But Tatum and, there's some other players on the team who just dog it sometimes. When you run the floor, that you're going to get open shots instead of just dogging it. Or maybe when you play good defense, you can get transition baskets. I mean, it's ridiculous. Look at the Warriors. They move the ball very well, always have high assist numbers. They play good defense. And, Indiana's probably a more talented team than them. And
real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
But like you were saying, transition passing, right? The Warriors are the second best team in opponent field goal percentage. They run after they get that board.
Absolutely.
They run it.
Yeah.
I want to say about, I was talking to some people around campus about possible players that NBA top tier guys, and a lot of people know that Jimmy Butler is one of my favorite players. And one of the things we were talking about was one of my friends was saying, Jimmy Butler, like, he's a fake player. He gets to the line. Like, Tatum's way more talented. Well, why doesn't Tatum get to the line 10 times a game?
Great question.
There's no reason he shouldn't be getting to the line.
No, you're forgetting. Jason Tatum, sidestep threes.
Jason Tatum should play exactly like Jimmy Butler, a very balanced game, and then at the end of the game, take over. That's exactly how he should play to be an elite player.
I think he's more talented than Butler, but Butler's better.
He's definitely more talented.
I'll take Jimmy Butler on my team over Tatum because Butler knows how to play the game. It's not just, let me dribble up the floor, hold the ball for 20 seconds. Look, it's the end of the shot clock. Here comes a sidestep 30-foot three off the side of the rim. The guy needs to learn how to play the game of basketball.
And the problem is, happens when Tatum's out there by himself without Brown, and sometimes when Kemba's not playing. But when all three of them are out there together to start the game or at the end of the fourth quarter, Kemba just dribbles and dribbles and dribbles, and then they give it to Tatum, dribble. Oh, shoot, we got to shoot. It's just embarrassing to watch.
So you say this isn't a Brad Stevens problem, but why isn't he out there telling these guys, you have to pass? You have to pass.
I think he is.
Then why are they, I don't understand what they're doing.
I think they're tuning him out, but the bottom line is, people will say, you have to get rid of him. And this is an NBA problem. Good coaches are being driven out of this league because they just don't want to listen to guys. Steve Nash gets a job. Give me a break.
Billy Donovan didn't even want to coach the Thunder anymore. I don't even know what happened there, but that's a great coach right there.
You remember Kenny Atkinson in Brooklyn?
Yeah, of course.
He was a great coach.
Yeah.
But no, they have to fire him because Kyrie Irving didn't like him. Give me a break. The good coaches are being driven out of the league. This is a joke.
And one of the great coaches right now in the league, maybe the best coach in the league outside of Spoelstra or Popovich in Utah, Quinn Snyder. His team's thriving.
Yeah, they listen to their coach. It's a foreign concept.
It's a joy to watch those teams like the Warriors, the Jazz, teams that move the basketball. Unlike teams like the Clippers and the Celtics, we've seen problems with them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, poor coaching leads to poor play.
Not listening to your coach also leads to poor play.
Well, in that case, the coaching isn't getting.
The Celtics should bring in Mark Cuban. They gotta sell the team.
Well, they have to relocate. Maybe they can relocate to Dallas.
One thing I love about Mark Cuban is that guy just has balls just to make any trade. Just goes out there, just tries to win. It just doesn't seem.
He doesn't hoard picks like Danny Ainge.
And Gordon Hayward too, who I think is better than Jason, having a better season right now than Jason Tatum.
All right, I don't know about that, but actually, Gordon Hayward and Terry Rozier are ahead of the Boston Celtics in the standings.
This is true.
Are you kidding me?
This is true.
I told you guys before the season, dude, LaMelo Ball is crazy. He took over that game last night in Phoenix.
He's a decent player, but
he's a decent
player. I know that Gordon Hayward and Terry Rozier are ahead of the Celtics right now. It's a disgrace. They should be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah, it's an interesting time in the NBA. A lot of unexpected things going on.
Oh, it's great. It's great times in the NBA right now. The Lakers are losing. The Celtics are losing.
Well, the Lakers are losing because they're not a good team. They only won last year because it was a Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, with Mickey and A. Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So today, some news breaking in the NFL as Russell Wilson has approached Seattle's front office with possible trade destinations should they choose to trade him. The teams being the Raiders, the Dolphins, I believe, the Jets were in there. The Bears were in there.
I thought it was just
among
Dallas.
a couple others.
Dallas
was in there.
I thought it was Chicago, Dallas. I don't think it was the Dolphins or the Jets.
They were originally reported.
Reported. Yeah.
So, as a guy who's grown up seeing Russell Wilson play his favorite team his whole life,
yes,
I cannot see this guy leaving the Seahawks. I think this is some weird power play thing where he's trying to get a little more control over what's going on within the team. Like you were saying, Chris, I believe you were talking about this earlier. He stormed out of some meeting before a Thursday night game this year because the coaches wouldn't listen to his game plan.
Typical Russell Wilson thinking he's higher than the coaches.
Well, yeah, typical Pete Carroll thinking he can just run the ball into a brick wall for 3 quarters and win games. Because their offensive line blows. I don't blame Russell Wilson for wanting out.
Exactly. You got to run the ball.
I hope he goes to Dallas.
But I really don't think he wants out.
Maybe not. Maybe not. I think you're right about the whole power play thing. Here's the thought: if he does leave, I would love to see him go to the Cowboys. There are a few guys in the league that could turn around the Dallas Cowboys, and I think he's one of them. But I did see today, Jerry Jones prefers Dak Prescott over Russell Wilson.
I like that.
Hold on. I do not prefer Dak Prescott as a quarterback over Russell Wilson. But I think Dak Prescott's a really good quarterback.
Oh, he's good. He's good. He's not Russell Wilson.
But I don't think he's the problem in Dallas.
No, absolutely not.
So I don't know if they would want to trade future first because you're going to have to give up Prescott.
I trade the house for. I trade them.
You know what team?
Elliott and Prescott. And picks.
That's what I said. I said. But you know what I think is a great team for him. A team that doesn't have a quarterback right now. A team that's looking like they're going to get a wide receiver in free agency. They're going to get Derwin James back. The LA Chargers. They do not have a quarterback right now.
That's a great point.
And they could get rid of him. 1-for-1 maybe with the age difference. And you just hype up the Seahawks. Pete Carroll. Makes a bad trade.
Dude, you guys, no.
And you got great wide receivers that are already being utilized with Keenan Allen.
I mean, obviously the Chargers roster is pretty good, and they 4-12 last year because they had a problem at quarterback. I mean, you get Russell Wilson in there, and you could really be a contender. I really believe that. That's a great point, Luke.
I've tried to contend with these two on this before with their strange hatred.
Well, they don't have a quarterback.
With their hatred for Herbert.
There are two teams in the league without a quarterback right now. It's the Patriots and the Chargers.
We've done this before. I won't do it again, but no. I think you should go to Chicago if he goes anywhere.
Yeah, I think
that would be exciting to watch.
I think those wide receivers, Keenan Allen and Juju signs there, which he said on when he was playing Fortnite the other day, that they're going to need an actual quarterback in there that doesn't turn the ball over 8 times a game and that doesn't lose every big game.
You guys are what? Ugh. Dude, Herbert kept him in every game that they should have been.
Oh yeah, they lost 45-0.
To the Patriots. You just can't lose to the Patriots. I'm sorry.
Imagine if the Niners played. The Niners beat the Patriots 40-3. Imagine if the Niners played the Chargers.
He's played one season in the NFL and broken every rookie record.
He was horrible. It's a different league.
That's Unreal arm talent.
Oh my God!
I watched him against the Patriots.
He's awful. In every big game, he can't throw the ball.
Here's the bottom line: you just can't lose to the Patriots and be a good quarterback. The Patriots are horrible. They're terrible at everything. They have a bad coach. They have a bad quarterback. You just can't lose to the Patriots.
He got outdueled.
Anthony Lynn was the worst head coach in the NFL last year. That was a big issue.
You got to fight through the coaching.
Yeah, exactly. Cam Newton fought through the coaching.
As a rookie. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Thought this guy was a stat. He went back to Oregon so he could get in there, but he had to lose to Auburn on national TV.
Lose to Arizona State on Saturday Night Football. Completely choked that game away.
Every single big game this guy plays, he loses. Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous. And you saw it in the choke fest this year between Matt Ryan and Justin Herbert going at each other. 3 picks in the final minute of the game. What a choke fest. LA should be looking for Russell Wilson.
That's a great point. I didn't think of that. I did not think of that, Luke. That's just a great point.
That's ridiculous. No. Herbert's going to be good next year with Juju there and with Allen there.
His ceiling is Trubisky.
Yeah, I can believe that.
His floor is like Fitzpatrick.
He's going to be an all-pro in the next 4 years. He'll be an
all-pro?
In the next 4 years.
He might not be a top 30 quarterback in the league.
I don't think he's a top 30 quarterback right now.
I don't either.
Why? It just doesn't make sense why. You guys say, he lost some games with the worst head coach.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. Why are we talking about this guy's name for so long? He's terrible.
I don't know. What's going on with the Patriots quarterback situation?
We suck.
What's going to happen? What's the solution, though?
I mean,
what's the real solution?
You know what?
You can't bring Cam back.
You
cannot bring Cam back.
I could play quarterback left-handed for the Patriots better than Cameron Newton could. But here's the thing with the Patriots. You know exactly what they're going to do. Chris is going to hate it, but you know exactly what they're going to do. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of it, but I know exactly what they're going to do. They're going to take Kyle Trask in like the 3rd round, and they're going to hype him up like they did Jarrett Stidham, like they did Jimmy Garoppolo, who deserved the hype, like they did Matt Castle, like they did all these guys. It's going to be a position player, either a linebacker, receiver, tight end at 15, and we're going to take Kyle Trask in the 3rd round, and he's going to pick up some quarterback off the street that's played a couple of years, probably Fitzpatrick maybe, or Dwayne Haskins, something random. And we're going to suck. I want to suck next year. I want to tank.
No, I disagree with what they're going to do. I think they're going to bring back Cam. I think they're going to bring back Stidham because Belichick is so stubborn. Because Cam, all he does is kisses right up to him. And, Belichick, first of all, is on the hot seat this year. If they have another season like last year, he's going to be fired. I firmly believe that. The fans are going to put the pressure on him because this season was a complete joke.
It was.
And
it's going to be the same thing. It's a repeat.
They're going to bring back Cam,
which is why I feel like we should tank and give Bill a chance to tank. And if he sucks at it for 2 years, if he doesn't get out of the tank,
he couldn't even tank right this year. He could not even tank correctly.
I agree. I think they should be tanking, and that's my final take on it. You cannot. I commented this on the Patriots Instagram page the day after we beat the New York Jets. I said, worst case scenario is this team goes 6-10, 7-9, and we miss out on Kyle Pitts.
Well,
any quarterback.
Well, they're going to miss out. I was going to get to the draft strategy. First of all, they're not going to take a single quarterback in the draft because Bill Belichick hates quarterbacks, does not believe in the position.
Because you don't need him, clearly.
No, you don't need a quarterback. They will be trading down from the number 15 pick for 3 third-round picks, like they always do.
And a D3 left linebacker from Bates.
Yeah, and then they'll be trading for a lacrosse player. That'll be their starting linebacker because that's what they usually do, and he'll suck.
And then they'll pick up Patrice Bergeron off the...
Yeah, they will make 0 roster moves. They'll lose some guys in the offensive line, and this notion that they're going to be aggressive is a complete joke. They're going to suck. I will be surprised if they win a single game next year.
But Jacoby Myers will be a good player.
You should put Alex Smith under center.
Oh, I would take him.
Yeah, well, he's not going to kiss up to Bill like Cam Newton, so we have to sign Cam Newton.
Yeah, because apparently Bill Belichick is dope as SHIT, apparently.
Dope as hell.
Right.
Yeah, dollar Bill. That's
Nice.
Can't wait.
Great looks from Cam.
Fired up for next year.
Great looks from the Patriots in a great spot all around.
This is a great transition, though. Thank God we have the Boston Bruins, who are a good team.
Thank God for the Red Sox.
And the Red Sox, who are going to finish 4th in the division, not 5th this year. What a time to be alive. We're going to get in the Bruins right now. We got the Islanders tonight, who are our daddies. They own us. We cannot beat them. I'm expecting a loss tonight. We got Halak in net. I can't believe it, because Rask needs 6 days off between starts. It's unbelievable. I don't understand the decision from Cassidy, who is the best coach in the NHL. I don't know what he's doing right now. But, David Pastrnak, hat-trick in Tahoe the other day. The Flyers, what a joke. What a joke that team is. 5-0 against them now. And second best team in the division, as Chris says, maybe a weak division.
It's a horrible division.
Maybe a weak division.
Listen, the only thing I have to say is the Bruins are just really lucky they got to play in a terrible division this year because... You're only playing the teams in your division. I mean, you look, they get to avoid the Canadians, they get to avoid the Maple Leafs.
The Canadians, who have lost 5 out of 6, and Claude Julien fired. A great day.
They get to avoid the Panthers, they get to avoid the Lightning. I mean, it's just, they're so lucky. I mean, they're one of the luckiest hockey teams in the history of the National Hockey League.
You know what I can't wait for is when the Canadians bring in their next coach. Because he speaks French. Because he's got to be able to do the bilingual press conferences, that's all that matters. Whether he's a good coach, who cares? If he speaks French, just throw him in there.
Are there any French hockey players, at all? Is that a thing?
Well, French Canadians.
Yeah,
like Sidney Crosby, Nathan McKinnon, they're all French Canadians up there.
Sure. Why would that coach get fired though? Weren't they a good team for?
Well, they lost to the Senators twice in a row, so that's a fireable offense. It's the NHL. This isn't the NBA.
They're still better. They're still better than the Bruins. I mean, I just don't think the Bruins are very good.
They're not anywhere close to the Bruins.
I've watched some games, even though I've been blocked by Luke standing up and screaming at the TV at some of the games.
This hasn't happened.
But I think David Pastrnak's a good player. I would still trade him for Crosby, straight up.
No,
you have to win right now. But yeah, and the whole thing with Rask is, it's a joke.
Well, there's no report saying Rask wants to sit out or anything, which usually would happen. We've lost to this team twice now. Why is Halak playing again against them? I don't get it. Can we put a real goalie in there?
It's a big game, so we can't play. Remember that thing with the Canadians a couple years ago where he wouldn't play?
No, that is a great move. He's never allowed to play at the Bell Center ever again. That dude, there's 2 places Tuukka Rask cannot play: the Bell Center and whatever the stadium is in Washington called now. It used to be the Verizon Center, I think. He cannot play in those 2 stadiums. Every single time they score against him, he listens to the siren going off. Then there's 4 goals in the back of the net within 2 seconds. This guy's a bum in those 2 stadiums. At TD Garden, he's automatic, except for Game 7. Except for Game 7s. But we're feeling good about the Bruins. We'll sweep the Rangers. I'm not worried about the Rangers. They'll try and fight us again too, which is they were being absolute losers last time. Oh, we're gonna fight you, Marchand. Marchand, you snowed our goalie. No, it's ridiculous. We better win tonight, or else there's gonna be. Well, Cassidy might be on the hot seat.
Yeah, I watch out for my guy tonight, John Moore. I think he's gonna have a good night.
Oh my god, and Lauzon being out for a month's not gonna help the Bruins' case. So we're deep on, very high on Euro Vakanainen. He's a young player. Technically he's played a couple games early, so he's not a rookie. But he really is a rookie. He's 21 years old. I'm very excited for him. However, John Moore will be a -2 tonight. I'm fully expecting him to be on the ice. I'm hoping the Bruins win 3-2. I'm expecting him to be on the ice for both Islanders goals. And probably McAvoy, too, who thinks he plays offense. And then this guy, just because he has a lot of points, now he's the best defenseman in the league, according to everybody. Just because he gets these double assists because David Pastrnak scores every single shot he takes. This guy can't play defense. I mean, I've never seen a more embarrassing thing than this guy drop his stick skating back on defense and then being the main reason why the Flyers scored. You know, the highs and lows with him is ridiculous. You know, hopefully he plays good. I mean, it's good for the Bruins, though, right now. They're looking good.
So this past weekend, Michigan had a big win over Ohio State.
Great win. Great game. Best game of the year so far.
Taking down the number 4 team in the nation. Tonight, big game as the Iowa Hawkeyes take on the Michigan Wolverines. Chris, what do you got on that?
Yeah, I mean, the game against Ohio State, I thought both teams played really well. Just a good game between two good teams. The best game I've seen in a long time. And to be honest, I think the difference in the game, those two teams right now, I think it's close. I think Gonzaga and Baylor are ahead of everybody, but I think it's close between Michigan and Ohio State. That's that next tier. Is that Michigan has a guy who can go close the game. We saw Livers make a couple big plays down the stretch. And they're much bigger and more physical than Ohio State. Ohio State's defense is a little spotty at times. And Michigan is pretty solid on defense. Ohio State made some tough shots in this game. That's why they had 87 points. You know, Dickinson rebounds the ball really well. And the bottom line is if they play like that, they can beat Gonzaga and Baylor. And, you know, they're going to need that again tonight. Iowa's a really good team, and they're going to score a lot of points. So, you know, good win. I was excited for that. We've solidified ourselves as the number 3 team in the country. And, you know, you got to keep playing well. Everybody played well, except for Johns.
I think
Michigan
deserved to win that game, but I really would have liked to see what would have happened if Liddell didn't get that little ankle, because he definitely slowed down after he hurt that ankle.
Yeah,
about 10 minutes. He definitely slowed down a little bit. I would like to see the ending with him maybe more healthy. I was very impressed with Michigan's defense down the stretch, though. They really locked in, got a couple stops, capitalized on poor Ohio State turnovers at the end of the game. I think that was the difference right there. Ohio State kind of melted at the end of the game a little bit there, where Michigan, and even though they didn't make their free throws at the end of the game, you got a lot of energy guys that at the point guard position with Smith, Brown is his name, right?
Brown
and Brooks, who I think are all good players. And then when they drive to the hoop and they got a lot of energy, you got guys like Wagner and Livers who can knock down shots, and Dickinson is going to get there for the boards. It's a very well-balanced team, and I think it's a team that can definitely go to the Final Four. I mean, this is the number 3 team in the country, and I think Iowa's going to give them a tough task today. You know, they're big, they can shoot. They're not faster than Michigan, so